You sense it, don't you? That quiet ache beneath the surface, like a shadow lurking just out of sight. You've done everything they told you to do, felt the pain, faced the fears, tried to heal what was broken. Yet, somehow, after all that effort, there's this strange stillness, a hollow calm that feels more like a void than peace. It's as if the world has fallen silent, except, inside, the storm still rages. You wonder if you're losing yourself in the quiet, or if this silence is what it truly means to see. Maybe it's not numbness, but something else, something deeper, more elusive. A space where the shadows of your soul come to rest. And in that emptiness, you're left asking, what am I really feeling beneath all of this? It's not failure, it's the slow unraveling of the old self, like a tree shedding its dead branches to make room for new growth. You've been told to keep pushing, to find peace in doing, to prove your worth through achievement. But what if that relentless pursuit was never truly you? What if beneath the surface, a deeper voice has been whispering that the foundation is crumbling? Jung saw this as the moment when the persona, the mask we wear for the world, begins to dissolve, revealing the core that has long been hidden. That numbness, that confusion, is not the absence of life, it's the quiet echo of something dying. And in that silent space, something real begins to emerge, something unburdened by the stories of success or failure. It's the natural death of what no longer serves, clearing the way for a rebirth that cannot be forced. Sometimes, the greatest transformation begins with this emptiness, a space where the old must die, so the true self can finally be born. What if this silence, this emptiness you feel, is not the void they warn you about? Perhaps it's the sacred space before transformation, the deep pause where old stories dissolve into nothingness. Carl Jung whispered that at the heart of this stillness lies the true self, hidden beneath layers of masks, illusions of success, and fears of loss. This quiet is not a sign of failure, but a gentle death of the ego's illusion of control, a funeral for the false self that once defined you. Imagine a cocoon, dark and silent, holding within it the promise of rebirth. The caterpillar must surrender its familiar form to become the butterfly. Similarly, this phase of numbness is the alchemical crucible, an invitation to shed what no longer serves, to release the weight of accumulated stories. In this moment, your inner world is whispering, urging you to trust the process of inner death and renewal. It's as if the universe is peeling away the layers of illusion, revealing the luminous core that has always been there, waiting patiently. You're not lost, you're in the crucible of becoming. This is the threshold of a profound rebirth, where what once seemed like an end is merely the beginning of a deeper, more authentic self emerging from the ashes. The journey inward is not hollow, it is the sacred road to your true nature, the silent gateway to your most authentic self. You're in the cocoon, no longer who you once were, yet unsure of who you're becoming. The silence around you feels thick, almost deafening, as if the very space meant for transformation has turned into a void. But why does it still feel so heavy? What invisible weight drags at your chest, making your heart feel distant and numb? This weight is the shadow, a term Jung used to describe the parts of ourselves we've pushed into darkness, the truths we refuse to face. It's the unacknowledged fragments of our soul, the buried fire that once sparked passion but was hidden away to survive. You buried your flame to protect yourself from pain, from shame, from the chaos you couldn't control. But now, in this quiet, you've forgotten where you placed it. This numbness isn't the absence of emotion, it's the wall that holds too much emotion behind it. It's the silent scream of what you've disowned, fears, hopes, memories, all locked behind a fortress of silence. And in that silence, your true self whispers, trying to find its way back through the cracks of your carefully constructed calm. What if this fog isn't just emptiness? What if it's the memory of who you once were, trying to break free? The shadow is not your enemy, it's the missing piece, waiting to be seen, honored, and integrated. And perhaps, in that recognition, you'll find the beginning of your true awakening. Now that the shadow has been named, something deeper begins to surface, a war inside you. It's as if your identity has fractured, caught between two worlds. On one side, the ego clings to familiar rules: survival, success, masks that have defined you for so long. It's the voice that says, stay safe, stay small, stay comfortable. But on the other side, an emerging self whispers of truth, an authentic call that refuses to be silenced, even if its words are unclear. This inner tension creates a dissonance that feels almost unbearable. You want to move forward, to step into your true nature, yet something pulls you back. Your body feels present, yet your soul feels distant, elsewhere. Stillness brings anxiety instead of peace, and silence feels deafening. This conflict echoes Jung's idea of the crisis before integration, the battleground, where the persona clashes with the deeper self. It's not a flaw or failure, it's a sacred rupture, an essential part of transformation. Nietzsche's struggle between the Apollonian order and Dionysian chaos plays out within you, as the old masks crack open to reveal raw authenticity. The Boar Mate reminds us that this split is rooted in trauma and internal division created to keep you safe, even if it causes pain. Understand this: you are not broken. You are in the midst of breaking free. This turbulence, confusion, guilt, grief is the necessary passageway to alignment. You are not failing, you are transforming, and in this pain, a new self begins to emerge, waiting just beyond the fracture. This tension, this restless splitting, is the raw material from which new structures are built. You're not breaking apart, you're breaking open, allowing the hidden chambers of your soul to breathe and expand. Healing isn't about erasing the past, it's about rewriting its blueprint, weaving your shadow and your light into a cohesive architecture. For Jung, this process is individuation, bringing the unconscious into conscious awareness, giving voice to what was once hidden. For Mate, it's allowing the true self to emerge from beneath layers of adaptation. And for Nietzsche, it's embracing the full spectrum of human experience, shadow and shine, as the path to authentic power. This chaos is the soil in which your authentic self takes root. It's the fertile compost of old wounds and false roles, transforming into the nourishment for new values and clarity. Remember, no transformation happens in comfort. Growth often wears the mask of grief, and when the soul reorganizes you, it can feel like falling apart. But beneath that discomfort lies a deeper coming together, an organic process of rebuilding from within. So trust this sacred disarray. The next chapter awaits, one of integration, wholeness, and true alignment. Instead, you start creating something entirely new, something that truly fits. You're not returning to the old normal. You're consciously building a new normal that honors your deepest truth. The life you once chased no longer fits because it was rooted in external approval and superficial roles. That's not failure, it's an invitation to redefine yourself. Imagine your identity as a living, flexible structure, like designing a home for your soul rather than dressing up a costume for your ego. Instead of wearing masks to hide who you are, you're learning to become transparent, authentic, present. What once fueled you validation, achievement, may now feel hollow. Now, you're fed by what resonates deep within: your values, your intuition, your true desires. This process echoes Jung's idea of individuation, becoming the self, and Nietzsche's call for self-creation and overcoming. You might start saying no to relationships that demand performance, or leaving work that contradicts your core values. You'll find yourself drawn to new hobbies, environments, or conversations, not to prove anything, but simply because they feel true. This is real freedom, and active, conscious creation of yourself. You're not reinventing who you are. You're revealing your authentic self. And as you do, you prepare to reconnect with the world with purpose, service, and expression through a new, liberated lens. It's a gentle unfolding, slower yet deeper, where each step is guided by inner truth rather than external validation. You speak more honestly, even if your voice trembles. You create freely, without asking permission. Allowing your unique expression to flow, you walk away from roles that no longer honor your essence, finding peace in simplicity and silence. This new way of engaging transforms relationships. You attract those who resonate with your authenticity and let go of those who needed your performance. Work becomes an act of living, a canvas for your soul's expression rather than a battleground for approval. You respond to life with presence, not reaction. Your life becomes art, a sacred act of becoming. Your truth is medicine, waiting to be shared, to heal and inspire. When you live aligned, your actions ripple outward as a quiet force, leading others to their own awakening. This is the moment where inner light meets the collective, where your authenticity becomes a gift to the world. As you step into this sacred participation, you prepare for what's next, a life infused with symbolism, intuition, and soulful purpose, an invitation to live not just outwardly, but spiritually. As you begin to see the world through new eyes, subtle signals emerge, dreams whisper truths in the quiet of the night. Recurring symbols appear like gentle guides echoing from the depths of your soul. This is the language of the symbolic life, a realm where meaning is woven into the fabric of everyday existence. According to Jung, this is not superstition or mere coincidence, but a profound form of psychological and spiritual intelligence where the world speaks in archetypes, synchronicities, and resonant images that beckon us beyond surface appearances. In this space, a dream might reveal an inner conflict, a recurring number may mirror your evolving consciousness, or a gut feeling guides you toward a choice that feels right beyond logic. Art, nature, and even silence speak in symbols, inviting you to trust your inner resonance rather than external scripts. It requires stillness, patience, and a willingness to not always understand intellectually but to feel deeply, trusting the quiet voice of your deeper self. Jung reminds us, the privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. In embracing this symbolic way of living, you no longer interpret life as a problem to solve but as a poetic conversation, an ongoing dialogue where the unconscious becomes a creative partner. Life transforms from a series of challenges into a sacred language, waiting for your response. This is the natural next step in your evolution, a soulful dance of perception and participation, leading toward a life of authentic contribution and profound meaning. You've traveled deep into your inner world, awakening to the subtle signals and symbols that guide your soul's unique path. You've sat with the shadows, listened in silence, and embraced the fullness of your authentic self. Now, the most profound step begins, sharing your truth not as a performance, but as a presence rooted in integrity and love. True contribution isn't about perfection or applause. It's about showing up fully, imperfect, vulnerable, and committed through creative expression, healing, teaching, or simply holding space for others. Every act of kindness, every inspired choice, becomes a brushstroke on the canvas of your legacy. Drawing from Jung's wisdom of individuation, we see the self as a bridge connecting inner wholeness with outer service, transforming personal growth into collective awakening. Inspired by the compassion at the heart of Mate and the creative vitality Nietzsche champions, your life becomes a sacred act of becoming, an ongoing dance of presence and purpose. Fear of judgment, rejection, or inadequacy may still whisper, but remember, your story, your lessons, your gifts are needed now more than ever. When you step into your truth, you light a path for others to do the same. This is not a finish line, it's a new beginning. Keep evolving, keep expressing, and keep serving from the fullness of your awakened self. Your life is a work of art, an act of legacy, created moment by moment through heartfelt action.